Mr. Burns, welcome to Science on Friday. With a bit of a new look today. You've got me and you have YouTube, so hopefully this is making it easy for you to access the videos. Don't forget, work quizzes and assessments will still be on Google Classrooms, so make sure you check that there after you've watched the video. Don't forget, I'll be asking you to pause the video at points so you can answer questions that I've set. Try and find someone else in the house that you could maybe give the answers to, then check them together, see if you're right. If not, write them down. Okay, so enough of actually looking at me. There we go. So let's hope that you are using your helpful tips for home working. No distractions, read the slides carefully, and if you need to, you can always send me a message through Classrooms if you are stuck. So let's start. So driving question. What is respiration? Why is it important? So this links directly to the last lesson that you had with Miss Burnett about digestion. So I'm going to put an image on the screen for you. Okay, so denaturing and that image. I would like you to pause the video now and try and tell me what denaturing is and what are the two objects in green. Okay, pause the video now. Okay, so hopefully you could tell me that they are both enzymes, and this is a normal enzyme, this one is denatured. Why? Because if the temperature and pH change sufficiently beyond an enzyme's optimum, that means they do the most work at the top of that bell curve, then the enzyme irreversibly changes. It can't go back. It affects the shape. That means that it will no longer work correctly. So it cannot use substrates, lock and key won't work, so it is no longer any good as an enzyme. So that means that we cannot have proper digestion. So how is digestion and breathing, the physical act of breathing, related to respiration? So we need energy. The energy comes from the food we eat. Now, the energy releasing process depends on the digestive system and the breathing system. So digestion and our breathing system, our lungs, produce two things, give the body two reactants that we need. So pause the video now and try and tell what they are. Okay, so you should know this by heart by now. The first one is glucose, is supplied by the digestive system. What do our lungs give us? We breathe in air, and a large part of that air we breathe in is nitrogen. In that nitrogen and air mix, we also have oxygen. This is supplied by the breathing system. So we need the glucose, we need the oxygen. So the glucose and oxygen enter the body in different ways, but they are needed at the same destinations. So here we have a picture of our circulatory system. Okay, blood flowing through the vessels. So we have our lungs, our intestines, and all of our oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood, our red and our blue. They take it to the cells where they are needed. So there's a picture there, a red blood cell. Okay, so we need our circulatory system. So after digestion, after we've had the oxygen in the lungs, they enter the circulatory system. But then how do they get from the circulatory system into the cells? So how do all the things, so for example, the oxygen carried on the red blood cells, how do they get into the cells where it is needed? So the body cells, the chemicals energy stored in glucose is released by a reaction. So it's that chemical energy stored in that side, that glucose. Okay, forget that we have an energy store. It is then transferred from that glucose when it reacts with oxygen. This reaction is called respiration. You should have heard of respiration. I need to add in year 8, when we breathe in and out, that is not respiration. Respiration can only happen at a cellular level, so only happen in cells. So what does it actually look like? What's the processes that it goes through? So we have here our red blood cells carrying our oxygen. We have our glucose entering our cell. So look over here. We have our oxygen coming from our red blood cells into our cell tissues. We have our glucose coming in. Okay, I'll play that again for you. Sorry about the sound. Look at the byproducts. What's released? Carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so from a process of, pause that there, diffusion, osmosis, and active transport, we have all these products, reactants moving in and out of the cells. So our glucose and oxygen go in, our carbon dioxide and water come out. So diffusion, osmosis, active transport, all those three things help the oxygen, glucose, carbon dioxide and water move in and out of our cells. That is where the energy is made. So respiration is the process the body uses to release energy from digested food, or glucose. So can you write this equation down, please? That glucose plus oxygen goes to carbon dioxide and water. Our byproduct is energy. Okay, so can you write that down now, please? I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so hope you've written that down. So this type of respiration is called aerobic respiration because energy is released with oxygen. Okay. So question 1, question 2, question 3. Read the questions, pause the video, and give me an answer, please. So pause the video now. Okay, so you should have come up with, what are the reactants needed for respiration? Oxygen and glucose. They are the two main reactants. Oxygen from the lungs, glucose from digestion. Question 2. The products, carbon dioxide and water, and energy. It's that energy that we need. The carbon dioxide and water are waste. Why do cells respire? To carry out reactions. Everything we do, move, eat, walk, talk, uses energy, and some of those are from reactions, chemical reactions. That is why we need that energy. Okay, so we're going to recap on the two different types of respiration. So aerobic, okay. Again, glucose, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water, and energy. Now, people sometimes think that this respiration is weird because we don't. Where does that water come out? It's when we exhale. So we know the glucose and oxygen go in, and when we exhale, carbon dioxide and water come out. So a little bit of a practical for you to do. Be careful when you do this. Make sure you wash your hands thoroughly afterwards and don't touch anybody else. So just breathe in your hand for 30 seconds. So pause the video and try that. Okay, your hand should be wet. That is because when we breathe out, we exhale carbon dioxide and water. So don't forget, pause the video now and go and wash your hand, please. Okay, good. So dry hands, good. So let's move on. So that is aerobic respiration. Make sure you write that down, aerobic respiration. So, not the opposite of aerobic, but a different type of respiration. This is when we don't have the oxygen. So when the body cannot supply the cell with oxygen, needs to break down glucose, then it has to carry out anaerobic respiration. This is released without oxygen. So write that equation down. Glucose goes to carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So for example, when you are running really quickly at a certain point, your muscles can't get enough oxygen, so you have to use anaerobic respiration. This can cause cramps, etc. Okay, we'll look at this in a bit more detail later on. So you've had your two types, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So we've just looked at us animals. What about plants? What about photosynthesis? How is that related, linked? Let's have a look. So we've got photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide and water, and it produces glucose and oxygen. Go back and think about respiration, aerobic respiration. What are the products? What do we need for respiration? What do we produce? So, coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But plants need carbon dioxide and water and glucose and oxygen for photosynthesis. We need glucose and oxygen and produce carbon dioxide and water from respiration. So, this is why we talk about deforestation is a big issue, about cutting down lots of trees. We need that oxygen. Plants need that carbon dioxide. So if we chop down all the trees, where will the oxygen come from? So just something to think about, guys. So that is respiration in plants and how it is different. So I would like you to answer this question. Why is respiration important? Okay, you know what respiration is, the two types. I'd like you to tell me now why it is important. I don't want a one-sentence answer. I would like a paragraph. You either write it down or tell someone. So pause the video now and tell me why respiration is important. Okay, so this is my answer. So, without respiration, animals and plants would not have the energy needed to create new cells and grow. We need to produce new cells, whether it's through mitosis or meiosis, or whether it's sex cells or cells for growth and repair. We need that energy. Plants do too. A plant's meristem, needs that energy to create new leaves. So respiration is really, really important. So we generally use aerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is also used. We use it in our bodies, but it's also used by other chemicals. Fermentation is produced without oxygen. So yeast, so brewing, baking, okay, they use that without oxygen. So plants are really, really important. Very, very important in this whole thing. So we need plants as much as we need them. So if you know me, I'm a fan of plants. So let's keep calm and love the plants. Right. So assessment. This is the fact sheet. I would like you to read the fact sheet. Okay. There is a quiz back on Google Classrooms that goes with this fact sheet. There's a lesson feedback form as well that I need everyone who watched this to complete. Did you enjoy the video? Was it easy? Was it hard? So look at the fact sheet, copy it out if you want to, or have it next to you when you answer the quiz, and then go and answer the quiz. So read that fact sheet and then attempt the quiz. So I will see you lot next Friday. I hope you found the YouTube video informative and easy to follow, and I hope it makes life a bit easier for you. So until next Friday, Year 8, take care and be safe.